Today, we're settling the Roth IRA versus 401k debate with actual numbers, not vague advice. Both are retirement accounts. Both offer tax advantages, but they work in almost opposite ways. And picking the wrong one for your situation can quietly cost you tens of thousands of dollars over a career. Let's break down exactly how each one taxes your money, then run the real math on which one wins by age 65. A traditional 401k is pre-tax. Money comes out of your paycheck before taxes are calculated, which lowers your taxable income today. If you earn $70,000 and contribute $6,000, you're only taxed on $64,000 that year. But when you withdraw in retirement, every dollar, contributions and growth, is taxed as ordinary income. A Roth IRA works in reverse. You contribute after-tax money, so there's no upfront deduction, but all future growth and withdrawals are completely tax-free after age 59 and a half, as long as the account's been open 5 years. For 2026, the Roth IRA contribution limit sits at $7,000 a year or $8,000 if you're 50 or older, and it phases out at higher incomes. Single filers lose eligibility around $165,000 to $180,000 modified adjusted gross income. The 401k limit is much higher, at $23,500 for 2026 or $31,000 with catch-up contributions. Here's the scenario from the intro. Someone invests $500 a month for 30 years at an average 8% annual return. That's a reasonable long-term stock market assumption. The ending balance before taxes is about $745,000 in either account. In the Roth, that $745,000 is entirely yours, tax-free, because you already paid tax on the contributions going in. In the traditional 401k, that $745,000 gets taxed on withdrawal. Assume a realistic 25% effective tax rate in retirement, which is common once you factor in Social Security and required minimum distributions pushing you into that bracket. That's $186,250 gone to taxes, leaving roughly $559,000 in spendable money. Same contributions, same return, same time horizon. A $186,000 difference purely from account structure and tax timing. But, and this is the contrarian part, the 401k isn't always the loser. If your employer offers a match, say 50 cents per dollar up to 6% of your salary, that's an instant 50% return before your money even hits the market. Always capture the full match first, no exceptions. Also, if you're currently in a high tax bracket, say 32%, and expect to be in a lower bracket in retirement, like 12 to 15%, the traditional 401k's upfront deduction can outperform the Roth. The real answer isn't always pick Roth or always pick 401k, it's capture the employer match in your 401k first, then max out a Roth IRA for its tax-free growth, then go back and increase 401k contributions if you have money left over. That order, match, then Roth, then more 401k, tends to outperform any single account strategy for most middle-income earners. Once you know which account to prioritize, the next step is actually opening one, and this is where a lot of people get stuck for months. I've been using M1 Finance to manage retirement and brokerage accounts side by side because it lets you automate contributions into a diversified portfolio without the higher fees some robo-advisors charge. Links in the description if you want to see how it's structured. Fidelity is another solid option if you want zero expense ratio index funds directly. Either way, the account sitting empty in your bank app is costing you more than any fee ever will. Quick recap. Capture your full employer 401k match first. That's free money. Then prioritize a Roth IRA up to the $7,000 annual limit for tax-free growth. Then circle back to your 401k if you can save more.
The $186,000 gap we calculated today isn't from picking stocks better, it's from understanding how taxes work over decades. If this changed how you think about your retirement accounts, subscribe, because next week we're ranking the best travel credit cards by sign-up bonus for 2026, and some of these bonuses are worth more than $1,000 in free travel. Brokerage links are in the description. This video contains affiliate links, and I may earn a commission at no extra cost to you. This is not financial advice, for educational purposes only.